Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today's lecture will focus on the lung abscess, a localized collection of pus within the lung caused by microbial infection. Definition and overview. A lung abscess is a cavity at least 2 centimeters in size that's visible on a chest X-ray. It's usually the result of aspiration of anaerobic bacteria, but it can also follow other infections or obstructions. Patients at high risk include those with impaired cough or swallow reflexes, central nervous system disorders like seizures or stroke, substance use disorders, esophageal disease, immunosuppression, and those with altered consciousness from anesthesia. People without teeth and those on nasogastric feedings are also at risk. Pathophysiology. Most lung abscesses start as a complication of bacterial pneumonia or aspiration of oral anaerobes. Other causes include bronchial obstruction from tumors, foreign bodies, necrotizing pneumonias, tuberculosis, pulmonary embolism, or chest trauma. The location of the abscess often depends on gravity. For patients confined to bed, the posterior segment of the upper lobe and the superior segment of the lower lobe are the most common sites. As the infection progresses, the abscess cavity becomes surrounded by fibrous tissue. It may rupture into a bronchus, leading to continuous expectoration of purulent sputum, or into the pleural space, causing empyema. If there's a connection between the bronchus and pleura, it's known as a bronchopleural fistula. Anaerobic organisms are the most common culprits, though aerobic bacteria can also be involved depending on the underlying risk factors. Clinical manifestations. Symptoms vary from mild to severe. Most patients develop fever, productive cough with foul-smelling or sometimes bloody sputum, pleuritic chest pain, dyspnea, weakness, anorexia, and weight loss. Fever and cough may be present for weeks before diagnosis. On exam, you may find leukocytosis, chest tenderness, dullness on percussion, decreased breath sounds, friction rub, or crackles. Assessment and diagnostics. Diagnosis is based on history and clinical presentation, chest X-ray showing a cavity with an air fluid level, sputum culture to identify organisms, CT scan if more detail is needed, fiber optic bronchoscopy in selected cases. Prevention. Prevention strategies include early, appropriate antibiotics for pneumonia, good oral and dental hygiene, prophylactic antibiotics before dental procedures if infection is present. Medical management. The mainstay of treatment is prolonged antibiotic therapy. IV antibiotics are started, often with clindamycin, ampicillin sulbactam, or carbapenems. Large doses are needed to penetrate necrotic tissue. IV therapy may last 3 weeks or more, then switch to oral antibiotics for another 4 to 12 weeks, sometimes longer. Drainage measures include postural drainage, chest physiotherapy, and, in some cases, percutaneous catheter drainage. Bronchoscopy drainage is rare. Surgical resection, such as lobectomy, is reserved for patients with massive hemoptysis or poor response to treatment. Nutritional support is essential. Patients need high-protein, high-calorie diets to counter the catabolic effects of chronic infection. Nursing management. Nurses play a key role in administering antibiotics and IV therapy, monitoring for side effects and improvement, encouraging deep breathing, coughing, and CPT, supporting adequate nutrition, providing emotional support since recovery may take weeks to months. Home and transitional care. When patients go home with drains or tubes, nurses educate them and their caregivers on wound care, drain management, and infection prevention. Breathing exercises and postural drainage should be continued at home. Patients on long-term IV antibiotics may need home health services. Nurses also reinforce the importance of completing the full antibiotic course and maintaining nutrition and rest. Finally, this is an opportunity for health promotion, teaching smoking cessation, dental care, and routine health screening. In conclusion, a lung abscess is a serious but treatable complication of aspiration or infection. With prolonged antibiotics, airway clearance techniques, nutritional support, and careful nursing management, most patients recover. Education and transitional care are key to preventing relapses and promoting long-term health.